Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is G. Cole, and welcome to Homegrown, where we share with you some good music while talking to some great people. Hello world, hope you're feeling as good as I am. I want to big up all my homegrown listeners out there and welcome all the new listeners. If you haven't yet subscribed, please do so we can keep you updated when new material is available. We will be posting new episodes bi-weekly. Want to thank everyone who has been listening and sharing. Please leave us a comment. We'd love to hear from you. Please check out the website homegrownwithgcole.com to listen and for all things homegrown. The podcast is available on iTunes, Spotify, TuneIn, Stitcher, Google Play, iHeartRadio, Radio.com, YouTube, wherever you listen to your podcast. We are there. We're also very interactive. Please follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at MyGCole. The video of this interview is also available on YouTube. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. This is episode 150, and today's guest is a special guest, somebody I love willing a reason with. I'm talking about author, selector, father, tour manager to the stars. I'm talking about Mr. Dutty Bookman. This episode comes to you courtesy of the brand spanking new single by yours truly called Feeling the Love featuring Ed Robinson. Yours truly, G. Cole and Ed Robinson, Feeling the Love. Available for stream, download everywhere. Also, go to bandcamp.com and buy yourself a copy. Download it. Get it for yourself, all right? Special guest in the building. We do take pride and pleasure and have a reasoning with those people. I make no bones about it. I talk to people sometimes. I lose brain cells when I'm done. But it's a part of the gig. You know what I mean? When I'm done, man, but you don't know. Sometimes we talk to some people who can enlighten us on some things, who can, give us an insight into some things, especially from a perspective that we don't get every day. All right? Talking about an author, tour manager, DJ. And I'm sure I'm going to get about 8, 9, 10 more different things that the man do. You know what I mean? And of course, what I love about reasoning with this brother is I can get a perspective on the ground, boots on the ground, out there with the culture, for the culture itself. I'm talking about the one and only Mr. Dutty Bookman. Brother.
Yo.
Welcome, sir. Welcome.
Listen, give thanks, man. Good to be home with Homegrown,
Easy.
Once again, yeah, man.
Always a joy.
Yes, man.
One thing I must say with you, looking at IG and thing, I don't know why you pay your rent, pay your mortgage, do whatever, because you ain't never home. You're up on the road out there, but I carry it, go get them. Like, you might as well give it all up, bro. Just license plate, road.
No, well, we have a family, so them,
so we got to put it in perspective.
Keep them one place. We have to keep them one place.
But I love it, brother, because I feel like our culture has to be brought to people. It's not always them I come find it.
Yeah.
And that's what I love with you and your team is that whether it be from the literature or the music, you're taking it to the people them. How important do you find it that we have to take this reggae, this dancehall, this Jamaican culture to the world rather than feel like we can just create it and never come find it?
Yeah, well, in a sense, Jamaica is such an in-demand brand, as some people put it, but the culture of Jamaica is so alluring and fascinating that some people do come and find it. Right. It's just that, if you want to make a way for yourself in the world and, you want to grow it and you want to really help to push things forward, bring a different aspect of it,
Yeah.
It's important to go out there where the people are and meet them where they are and, work it that way there.
I love it.
Yeah, man.
And when you look at, it's rigorous enough, because here's what people see. People see your IG posts, which I don't know who your editor is, if you or whatever the case may be, but your IG posts be looking MTV like a mug, boy. Them look good. You know what I mean?
No, man, I just what you call it, portrait mode.
Bro, I'm like, damn. But it's work.
Yeah.
And you have the responsibility of not just making sure the sound and this and that, but you have to make sure that the artist is good to and in that frame of mind to do what they do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
So it's a lot, but again, it's a lot of work. We only see the stage, we see the lights, we see the hour on stage.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there's so much that goes around that.
Yeah.
Talk to me a little bit about that energy.
Yeah, I mean, tour management is probably, as one band member said to me, boy, I would never want your job.
Damn.
Yeah, it's the as the word suggests, an artist is going on tour and you have somebody to manage the tour. So that person is pretty much responsible for the success of the tour in a
Everything.
sense, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, obviously the foremost thing is the music. The success of the tour, I mean, you have a great artist and great band, and the music is the core of it.
Yeah.
But the business of running a tour, the logistics of running a tour, it's a constant headache, for lack of a better term. Pre-preparation before the tour.
Yeah.
Being on the road and anything can happen, and you have to be able to think fast.
Real time.
Which is not something that I enjoy doing. You know, I'm such a deliberate thinker. I sit and I really like to go through things meticulously. So that was something that, you know, when I started for the first time, it was something that really shocked me, because it's like, yo, decisions have to be made now. You don't really have the time.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So over time I got used to that, you know, and then after the tour done, you have more things you have to do, you know, accounting and all of these things that have to happen, you know.
Right.
So it's a constant work, man, you know. Yeah.
While preparing for the next tour.
Why? Exactly.
Jano.
Exactly.
I love it though, because again, there are those who do it and there are those who do it well. And by the looks of things, you're doing it well.
Give thanks, man. No, so far, as I like to say, no disasters. You
right.
know? Yeah. No.
We're gonna keep it that way. We're gonna keep it that way.
Yeah.
Bro, let me tell you something. I've said this to I think only one other person I've said this to, which was Virgo, Romeo and Virgo. Love the music, love the works, love all the stuff that he's putting out in the ether. But the things that moves me more than anything else is the family stuff that you put out there. We're oftentimes taught for more than one reason. Sometimes I'm gonna keep it on the low because we gotta keep it on the low, and then some wanna keep it on the low just to keep their family separate from certain things, because you know it's an industry.
Yeah, man.
But I feel like people need inspiration. And I know I'm inspired by seeing you over the past years just raising up your boys and raising them up to be thinkers. You're an author, right? And your boys are no authors.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
Talk to me a little bit about the book boys.
Yeah, the book boys, you know, it's just it's too regular youth, you know. It's not we try not to kind of create a big facade around them, because we want them to have a fairly normal upbringing, you know. But it's just too youth, them love joke around and laugh with each other and get into a whole heap of foolishness, and the reason why they became authors was because I was looking at Protege's song, Here Comes the Morning, which he wrote inspired by his own daughter. And, I said, boy, this would just make a really beautiful children's book, so adapt this.
Right.
So I bring it to them. One time them in them room playing with them Legos or whatever, and I just go in there and I say, yo, when you want to work on a book with me, let's adapt Uncle OJ's book and, his song, and let's create a book. And it wasn't like they were like overly excited about it or anything. They just said, yeah, okay, whatever. And we sit down with them. But I really wanted to give them that experience because I wanted them to say, yo, you can create something. It can go out to the world. You can end up on a stage talking to people about your work.
Right.
And money going into your bank account when it's being bought.
Right.
So, it's not like they're now clamoring to write more books. It's not really their passion. But it was important to me to give them that experience, So, we definitely had some great moments of them, like in the creative process, some eureka moments where them say, yo, this rhyme, and
right. Wow.
And so they understand, and that's a experience that I wanted to give them, and you can't take it away from them now, It's
They've
like
done it.
yeah, they're artists.
I love it.
Yeah,
I love it. I pay attention, man. I'll be looking on IG. I'm gonna find because sometimes we are in our little space, right? It's life. We know space, and we think about how it impacts us. But I'm not telling no lie. I feel like the world needs inspiration. That's why over the years, as I see artists like Protege and them, right? We have our ebbs and flows. But even during the ebbs and flows, it seems like an artist that's always putting out the works.
Yeah, it's one of the hardest working people in any industry that I have ever met.
Protege.
Yeah, man. Him, like, sometimes we have to tell him, yo, just take a break, man.
Well, I sleep.
Yeah, man, because he's just always on to the next thing, He's not going to stop.
I love it.
Yeah, man. So that's a big inspiration to me to see, like, yo, somebody in the game so long, in an industry where, boy, you're 15 minutes short,
Jano.
Like, he's been active for the better part of a decade and a half. You know,
And many can say, whether it be dancehall, whether it be reggae, whatever the case may be, it's hard to sustain a career.
It's not easy, and especially if you say you're doing reggae music, you're not doing the slackness, which is what is more palatable. I mean, more wanted out there than, for lack of a better term,
especially amongst us.
Yeah, so it's like he has had to find ways to get into other markets where that music is more appreciated. You know what I mean? And just reggae artists in general have to work 3 times harder.
Yeah.
You know, just to make probably the same living that a popular dancer artist can make right now. You know.
Right.
So. And worse, if you say you're going to do it with touring with a band and a big crew, you have to pay all those people with the same money that the dancehall man making. And I got chop on some tracks.
Yep.
So you know what I mean? Is the commitment to the craft is what I admire, because he's showing that you can be successful doing that. It may not be an astronomical growth out of the blue or whatever, but it's a steady growth. You know?
Right.
Yeah, man.
I love that. And like you say, it's not just looking out for a team and whatever case may be, but you're responsible for the livelihood of others to say, something, you and you, we're going on the road, we're doing this work.
Yeah, man.
Some people just have to focus on them. So it does become a certain situation now where you are actually not just out there doing it and sharing the moment and the time, but you're actually responsible for these folks, for lack of a better word.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, man. And like for me, as a tour manager, seeing certain things behind the scene and being privy to certain information, I just know I really admire an artist like that. Him because I work with him the most, but in general, artists who do that, like as you said, they are literally responsible for the well-being, safety, comfort of the people around them. And that includes the financial well-being.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like to take on that responsibility is no small thing,
Jano,
man, it's no small thing.
I have to big up the artist. And what I love about that energy is it's contagious too, because I watch those around the other artists, We're in our culture where the loudness is what's popular. And dancehall and them kind of energy there, very loud. The fans are more responsive. You do reggae music, people listen to it and love it, but them quiet. You do dancehall music, then go on them IG, them talk all kind of things and whatever, So the gratification is a little bit more for the dancehall artist. But I do see over the years, I feel like Protoje's contributions has been way more than musical. I see many careers that is not just, I gave you a launching pad, but I think he still inspires these people. You know what I mean? These artists that's around them. Because sometimes you have 10, 15 people that do them thing, but you them look for inspiration. And the day you stop, it might not be tomorrow, but they gonna stop too. You know what I'm saying? So I'm on the outside looking in, I'm saying I have to commend the artist. And I also know that it's a lot of people, because he has a sound that's modern. He has he's doing dancehall, which is reggae music, which is our bread and butter, our culture, but the sounds that he put on it is a modern flair.
Yeah, man.
And our people stay, the purists, you might say.
Right.
If it don't sound like it's supposed to sound, you critique it.
Yeah.
And I've heard it, but at the same time, every time it comes up, I'm going to say to somebody, but, man, I do it proper though. He's on the road with the band though.
Yeah.
He's representing the culture. You ain't hearing all the nonsense that you hear. He ain't in jail, right? It always circle back around to, something I got to give respect to the artist.
Yeah, that's what I noticed over the years too. All the people who have, any sort of critique about what he has done or is doing, at the end of the day, them punctuate them critique with, I have to respect him. So, what more can you say about that? You know what I mean? He really has pushed the envelope in certain ways, and one thing, even sometimes if I ask him like, how that music sounds like, and you call it reggae and whatever, and like him would have said, no man, and him can tell you exactly where the reggae is in the production,
right,
and what it coming from,
right.
You get me? And him can trace the whole reggae lineage to what him put into that track.
Wow.
But it's just so uniquely produced that people don't pick up a lot of those things.
Right,
I don't pick up a lot of those things.
Right, and you did it.
And me did it. You know me? So
Jano.
yeah, man.
I dig it. I dig it. And I, over the years, what I've the word I've used to describe him is necessary. I think Protege, outside of the talent, outside of everything else, I think he's necessary. Because again, what he gives off, it's not, I feel like your legacy sometimes is not just what you do, but it's what's going to be said about you when you're not in the room.
Yeah.
Right? And if him decide to ride off and at the sunset tomorrow, we can say, well, he gave us Leela. You know what I'm saying? And I'd be greedy to ask for more.
Yeah.
Market, there's way more, you know.
Yeah.
But if me can say, give me Leela, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite artists too.
Yeah,
You know
man.
what I
Leela
mean?
is great, man. I love going on the road with her too.
Yeah.
And she's just like,
Energy.
she's like, I once heard it said she's like the character in The Fifth Element. If you watch that movie.
Which one? Which character?
The lead character, man, the girl,
Oh!
Lilo, or I think she named Lilo or something like that. But
I know.
yeah, it's just like a special character,
She stands out.
Like she needs to be protected.
Yeah.
Because it's a treasure, you know?
She is.
Yeah, man.
She is.
Yeah, man. But she's done it all her own, you know. I'm sure, you know, I don't think Protege would take too much credit, you know.
Right.
Obviously, him help her and him would acknowledge that.
Mm-hmm.
But Leela is a powerhouse on her own, man. She does, just, you know, one thing we always spoke about, him and I, is like, when we were coming up and talking about, you know, the industry as we had seen it at the time in Jamaica, you know, talking about pre-2010, you know, coming up. And we're on the little local scene and we're doing things and whatever. And it's like, I said, nobody around here is trying to help up we as the youths at the time.
Right.
So it was like a commitment made from them time to say, yo, if we make it to a level where we can help some people, we'll do that.
Yeah.
You know, and we, you know, I would say we stay true to that, you know, we stay true to that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Some of my favorite artists that's in my playlist right now is from in and around. Even if they were doing their thing from before, but they're like a part of the crew. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The nucleus being, of course, Protege and you guys. But me tell you, say, I love Wagwan because more than the music and anything else, the energy and it's everything's about equilibrium. And I think that's where we lost sometimes. People thought about, yo, we're getting negative music, we're getting a long time, right?
Yeah.
But we had a little bit more balance.
Right.
And I think right now, no pressure, but it feel like, say, boy, in our position where you're going to have to maintain what you're doing because some nonsense are going around and we are count on enough get the balance.
It's rough because sometimes we are say, yo, we are count on who is out there to come up and join the ranks because who wants to be going into their, you know, into the twilight, you know, the middle ages and whatever, and still out there hustling.
Right.
You know, like the idea is a next generation must rise up and we supposed to be there to help them. But it's not supposed to be we that the ones to be we the world must depend upon we now at this time for do the like the youth have the energy, you know what I mean?
Somebody gotta do the heavy lifting.
Yeah, brother. So
Bro.
I feel like, you know, the heavy lifting has been going on so long. It's like, you know, the next youth them. And youth them out there, you know, but it's
They
like
are.
and unfortunately it's just sometimes you have a special like what you call the zeitgeist moment, you know, where stars align, things happening good and you feel a movement bubbling up. And we were just in that time.
Right.
And, you know, when you kind of look on history, them time they come around like, you know, every 30 years or something like that, you know?
Yeah, true.
I mean, you may have things happening in between, but like when it really busts, it's like a 30-year cycle, you know?
That is true.
So we were just fortunate that when we were coming up, we were in that time, you know?
And prepared to take advantage.
And prepared to take advantage of the time. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad I never dropped the ball because as I don't know what would have happened. I'm not telling no lie. I love music. I love listening to music. I've been one mad man. I'm happy stuff right about when I vex it all I don't know. I'm just saying. But I love the energy. I love what I'm going with. And I hope many can just grab some of the energy. You know what I mean? The positive energy. The word that I used to the first time I met Protege years ago, still I come up and I think of him kind of like how I used to feel about a Kobe or a LeBron or a Kevin Garnett. And the reason why I said that is this, because they came in the game from high school right? You realize that they were grown men. After a while, you know what I mean? They end up on them 17th season, but because they came in from high school, you still don't realize, and Protege has been in the game for a long time. You know what I mean? By artist standards. You know what I mean? But I think because how him come in and stuff like that, and kind of how he moved is because he's that person that's not always up in the limelight. I think some of the years get hidden. You know what I mean? You don't see him every day. But that last album, which was, I think it's third time the charm done reggae, right?
Yeah, with Tippy.
With Tippy, brother.
Zion Kings,
no, sir. What I say? I've been soaking that in.
Let me tell you something. We toured that album this summer. Protege meets Tippy I, a dub experience. We started in Miami. We go Montreal, Toronto. We end up in New York, DC, Denver. Then we go across West Coast, LA. Go up towards, Washington State, Ray. Let me tell you, everywhere that we go, G Cole, is like, I've been touring with Protege and the Indignation, his band, for 7 years now.
Right.
I've never seen the type of crowd reaction as to when him and TPI touch the stage. And TPI are dub out. I don't know if you know or ever really witnessed TPI dub. But in bringing like actual studio equipment on the road,
Wow.
So he's live dubbing. He have all the stems. He's live dubbing everything just like on the album.
Wow.
And Protege is chanting mic, like sound system style over that.
Right. Damn.
Like the whole place just in a trance. Like it was a rap.
I would love to. Yeah. I'd love to be there for listening. I didn't get an opportunity to do it when you guys were in Miami, but trust me.
Yeah.
Anytime I pass through again, I shall be there.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I shall be there.
We had one that was supposed to happen in Philly and it didn't happen, and it's coming up. I don't know when you're going to hear this, but it's coming up at the end of this month. We're going to do the Philly show.
Man.
Yeah, the 26th.
26th of September?
Yeah.
So we drop this in a couple of days, so.
Yeah, man.
They'll know about it.
Yeah, man. That's the, and then it's already they advertised the tour, the same tour in the UK and London already sell out. A November show that.
Wow.
So them and the UK people really love dub.
Yes, they
you
do.
See me? So I expect all of those shows to sell out. Yeah. Here in the States, it was like at first we were saying, I wonder if the people them are gonna gravitate, because we don't know the American audience to really gravitate to dub like that, Yeah, but we were pleasantly surprised.
And that's the thing about the music. This is another thing I had to give the artist credit for, because a lot of times, based on delivery and whatever the case may be, people think that is something different. But to remove the original instrumentation and now put it on straight dub, straight reggae, right? And it's sit down, the way it's sit down. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
When tune him switch up with coffee.
Yeah.
When I heard that, right after me say it's a rap.
And that's track one.
Track one. I'm like, it's a rap. I'm in, brother. I'm say no more. I'm in. Jano, because I would have never at that ear beyond me, I would have never thought that song in particular. But I sit down so proper. Man. I was like, damn.
Yeah, man. It's the magic of Zion Kings, man. TPI, Moonbane, and Dutty. Yeah, them three brother there is Zion Kings.
Large of Zion Kings. Are they from the Virgin Islands, right?
Well, TPI is definitely from the Virgin Islands. Dutty lives in Florida. I don't know where he's originally from, but he lives in Orlando. And Moon is up north, like New York side.
Mad.
But I mean, them man there is, if you ask me, when it come on to dub roots, modern contemporary dub roots, they are it.
Right.
They are it. You know what I mean? And they have worked with, they have an extensive catalog. They've worked with Van Benjamin and,
well, this is what had me now backpedaling, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna listen to the other stuff.
Yeah.
And that's the amazing thing about music. And you come up on the right thing, it make you go back now and go check out the whole arsenal, the whole catalog.
Man. Big catalogs.
Yeah,
man.
Proper.
Yeah, man.
Proper.
Yes, man.
If I didn't know and you tell me say everything was revoiced, man, I believe you. The way how it's so properly done. If you say no, man, them go sing over everything back, man, and I would be like, oh, for really? Me know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But congrats, brother. to all involved, all the artists, all the production team, everybody proper.
Yeah, man.
That drop in time for this Grammy, right?
I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah, we shall see.
Brother, because I always gotta have a horse in the race, you know. So
Yeah.
if it's in there,
Yeah.
then I'd be a nice bag of make. I eat that.
Yeah, man, that would be nice. Man, not telling a lie, you know.
Well,
It's not like we clamor for Grammys, but it's nice to, you know, conquer certain little systems within Babylon. You know, that's how I view it. So
absolutely
infiltrate them space there and excel. You know. Yeah.
And honestly, especially because I feel like anything that you vote on is politics, right? No matter what, from student council president to all the way up, right? So it's no longer, we're in the era now where nothing is based on the quality of it or your talent. It's based on your following, right? So if me put out something, I may have 500,000 people follow me and you put out something 10 times better, and you got 30 million, you're the winner. You know what I'm saying? So for that reason is the reason why I want to see the good stuff shine through, regardless of the politics and what the machine and the mechanics behind whomever, whatever. When the good thing come out, because I want the kids in particular for realize that good things can, you know what I mean, can be successful too. Because sometimes they get so caught up in the mechanics and feel like, well, you know, I'm gonna have this go on for me and that go on for me. So who cares? I want the good stuff to come through, and this would be a proper.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I agree with that still.
John, ladies and gentlemen, Dutty Bookman. Let's talk about, I want to talk to you about music on the road versus music being made. This, again, all conversations I have at home with folks, I'm going to say, music is being made, but then we have music being taken on the road. And I feel like it's a difference, because if it's being made and we don't carry it going away, yes, some ears might hear it. And like I said, Jamaica is a brand, people are going to come and get it. But to put it on your back and take it to the world.
Yeah, take it out there.
Talk to me a little bit about the energy of the people. There's a misconception that the love and the appreciation for this music is fading away, especially from the marketplace that we've worked so hard for, which is the North American marketplace. You know what I mean? But you're out there in real time. What's the response? What's the energy? What's the crowd vibe like when you're out there in the North American music space, USA and Canada?
Well, I guess I can speak with a mixed perspective, you know, as tour manager observing live music, as well as Selector playing music to, you know, smaller audiences.
Right.
I feel that I feel like, to me, I feel like the crowd is dwindling. I feel like it's harder. Okay, for instance, in DC, where I once lived, I used to do Dubwise DC, and it was bi-weekly. Every other Friday, one of the epicenters of nightlife in the city, you know, which is a place called Adams Morgan. And I mean, we had great nights, night after night, great, you know, vibrations. And I remember even at that time, though, people used to always say to me, yo, it was almost like I was a godsend. Because, and one sister reiterated it to me recently, and the way she put it was, she was saying, oh my God, somebody actually wants to come and sit down whole night and play this music. Wow. Because DC in particular, at least the people who are long-time DC residents, they are deep roots lovers. Actually, Van Benjamin used to play his trade up there. So they used to tell me about legendary midnight events where they're performing 7 hours and all of these things and just don't stop. Which I've experienced midnight shows and them go, easily 4-hour sets, you know what I mean? But, you know, they left back to St. Croix or wherever, and it was like there was this kind of void and in the roots department, you know? And I remember when I went to DC, I felt the void because I was looking for things to do, and I was like, nobody now play. Them time of me just leave Jamaica and at Kingston Dub Club me there every day. You get me every Sunday. So I try look for that the vibe there and I can't find it, and I say, all right. That's how I started playing music.
Wow.
Yeah, the first night
Just trying to fill a space where you want, where you miss.
Me want hear the song them what me like on a big sound system, which I don't have at my yard.
Right,
Like
right.
have it at my yard, me now go out there go play.
Right.
Cause I am like a introvert, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
So you want to stay home and then
Yeah, I love my yard, brother. I love my yard. You know what I mean? You know, my youth there, my wife in a, you know, nearby.
Right.
And I can do what I want to do and I feel good and whatever. I love that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, makes sense.
So anyway, the first night, play, I bring a laptop. I just bring my laptop. Them time them I don't know nothing about DJ software and none of them thing there. Plug in the headphone jack, string it up to the house sound in this club who allow me to play.
Right.
Cause I guess them was looking for something to fill a Sunday night at the time.
So you know, mixer is a play tune.
No mixer, brother. No mixer. And I just go so, and I just go open up iTunes and see my playlist. And I just press play
Make it
and
run.
just start rock. And everybody a rock and everybody a love it and play out tune to the end.
Yeah.
And it all a fade down and
Cool, no man.
next tune.
Yeah,
and that was it the whole night. And from that, I just became this legend in DC again. That was how I started.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't think I ever tell anybody that publicly yet.
Jano.
Yeah. So that's how I started, you know, and then from there, you know, I learned the whole art of, you know, using the software, selecting properly and mixing and them kind of thing there. And so to answer your first question, which is like, you know, how I feel about it. So those days were like the glory days for me. I left there, moved to Florida. I really did not enjoy my Florida experience as a selector.
Right.
I find the audience here to be a different breed, you know?
Yep.
So it was very shocking for me. And as I like to say, DC brought me bad.
Right.
The DC people brought me bad. And I've gone nowhere else in the world and feel as comfortable as I do playing in front of DC crowd.
Wow.
So anyway, but I would go back periodically and all I have to do, you know, if I want to go there next week, make the flyer tonight, put it out, I'm easily have 120 people in the room.
Wow. As simple as that.
Yeah. And if I want more, I work like harder and promote it and push it and maybe ask a little friend to do a little street team for me or whatever. But more time I just comfortable with the 120 people.
Yeah.
You know, as long as I have the energy flow, me I play, them I love it. Me getting a vibes, them getting a vibes, and it's just a nice night.
Mad.
And over the years, it just, you know, especially after the pandemic now, it's like there was a sudden dip. I remember I went and I played and the room was practically empty. And
In DC.
In DC. And the venue owner say, him shocked too because him can count on a Dutty Bookman show for sell out in bar.
Right.
And that was a big eye opener for me. Say, yo, the thing changed, you know?
Wow.
And it's never been the same since that. And I you know, in DC for sure. And when I go other places, you have pockets where people really love the music, but also not to sound away, but them not really connect with it how me connect with it.
Right.
Them come and them enjoy themselves, but them more just there they chat with each other and talk and music a play to them. It's like a background to them.
Yeah.
So, but me like for play where people understand and connect with the culture of it the same way I do, you know? So that to me is hard to find. That's what I wanted to say. That's the whole preamble.
Bruh,
is to tell you that. It's hard to find a dedicated audience in North America that love roots and culture and will come out for it and support it every time.
Right. So it's the roots and culture vibe that's you'd say is diminishing.
Yeah. I don't have enough experience in the dancehall arena. I know what I'm seeing out there and it looks very good. Dancehall will always thrive and I am a dancehall baby. I love dancehall. But that's not what take me out of my house to go. I'll enjoy a whole heap of dancehall in my house.
Right.
You get me?
Right. But for leave and go.
But for leave and go, I just want I'll go to some dancehall events. I'm not going front like say I'll never, but most of the time is roots and culture. And that to me is a sad reality that is not strong over here.
Yeah.
You know, it's really sad.
Now, is it the diaspora areas? Because you see, especially when I'm on an album, I promote, I'm free for bonfire, you know? You know what I mean? So me burn out the fire and whatever the case may be. And honestly, in anything we do, we're kind of taught that the customer is always right. You know what I mean? No matter what you do, the customer is always right.
Yeah.
Me, on the other hand, I feel like half the issue with our music and adverse to other people is the audience. And what I mean by that is this. they're not consuming the music in terms of buying the music, right? Sometimes I struggle to get them to come out and enjoy the music, but they love to have their say in what it should sound like and feel like. I got a big problem with that.
Me too.
You know what I mean?
I don't like that.
Me burn it out all the time. And I also have a problem with this. Our folks, I was watching one of my favorite podcasts, big podcasts. And I'd rather lie to me, but the person on the podcast said out that they don't buy music, right? And market, this is the podcast where I represent the culture, you know, right? Them I talk to everybody, everybody's tuned in and dialed in, and you're set on the podcast as the host say, you don't buy music. Rub me wrong. You know what I mean? But it represented a lot of us, right? Loud, but not supporting it the way we're supposed to support it. And I'm going to tell you, tune bad and them love it and this and that until you said the ticket prices, this are the CD cost, this are whatever the case may be. And it rubbed me wrong.
Yeah.
Because I've also been on the road and everybody comes up and love what I go on. But when I'm at the merch table or where I sell the CDs and whatever the case may be, is the people that don't look like you and I that are coming up and are buying and supporting music. But yet still, for some reason, I don't know why, when I talk to artists, they're so focused on pleasing the same audience that is not consuming the music. Do you encounter that?
Yeah, I think the same exact thing. Like, is not I and I people who are supporting us. Is
others.
You know, one humanity same way, but like I'm saying before, there are some people who we just don't connect on the same frequency.
Right.
You get me? We just do not.
Right.
So it's like that is like more strictly work. It's not a full enjoyment.
I got you.
Yeah, it's just work.
Right. It's a gig.
Yeah. And the people who I think I should be holding a great joy with, make it so hard to have the joy.
Bro,
make it so hard to have the joy.
So right.
Even down to, all right, one of the responsibilities that I have as a tour manager is managing a guest list. When me go some diaspora area, brother, is how the expectation that people have to be on the guest list. the feeling of entitlement that they must be on the guest list.
Right. Backstage and all.
Them would rather come to the door, and if them not on the guest list, them go and turn on and go them. Yeah, some of them.
Oh, away.
Yeah. But now I say everybody. I have some really great people amongst I and I who support still.
Right.
But in general, our culture is like that, and that's something that have to change, brother. Like, that's just a universal problem with black people. Me not tell no lie, brother.
It is true.
Me I just call a spade a spade.
And if you want to narrate down to even our people too, it get even thicker.
Yeah, and Marcus Garvey tell we said these days are go rough, and he's like, we're not here.
Judge.
We now come together and do things the right way in even just the economics realm. You see me?
And funny you mentioned that too, you know, because I deal with that a lot. The guest list scenario.
Yeah.
And not only the guest list scenario, but artists. We all listen, if you're in the industry, you know a bugger artist, you know a bugger producer, you know a bugger, right?
Yeah.
So if every artist and every producer is supposed to get in at the venue for free, then it got pretty much it's rum, but no tickets sold.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's something where I can't get used to. I can't get used to it, bro.
It's bizarre to me that this is the thinking, you know. And again, it's a word that I've been using a lot. It's sad. It's sad. Like, so a lot of things sad me now, you know, brother. Like, you know, because it's like, I think about how much of my youth that I've, and the energy of my youth that I've put towards trying to even just rally people and the fight that you get from certain people, the nonchalance you get from other people, you know, and the resistance in general, in whatever way.
Right.
And it's like me, I say, yo, why me never just use all of them here and just be selfish?
And do you.
And just do me.
Yeah.
It's now me I try catch up to me, you know, brother. No, me not tell a lie, brother.
The treadmill.
It's now me I try catch up to me. Me not join the rat race for nothing, you know, but me just I say is now me just I get a little bit more selfish. With all right, deal with me and my family. Cause my family watch me trying to do things with community and whatever. Just for face whole heap of different things, you know?
Yeah.
It's enough time my wife look for me and say, boy, you're good, you know?
She said, I couldn't do it.
Yeah. She
Jano.
say you're good man, you know?
Bro.
And me just I say, brother, like, we need for, I don't know, the sadness what I have about the state of our people. When we look at what going on in the world right now. You know what I mean? Like, just take a thing as simple as, the whole Israel and Gaza, you know, Israel and Palestine
vibe.
You see me?
Yeah.
And it's like how I used to have this thought, say, if Rastafari ever get too strong, in the earth, them I go. It's for now, the thing why Rastafari get where, as a community of people, is because they have kind of in the media turn us into like a little minstrel show,
Yeah.
It's like, just ganja smoking,
Yeah.
reggae music.
Then the tie into economics and all the little thing there.
Yeah. So that's why we can get to it, because even when we are chant truths and rights, it's almost like, how I can say it? You know, when somebody have on rose-colored glasses, and it's like you're looking at something black, but them have on the rose-colored glasses and them see the rose.
Yeah.
I think them I look pan.
Yeah.
So it's almost like we are say, truths and rights, but to them it's just comedy.
Yeah. Sheer entertainment.
The rose is comedy, you get me? It's entertainment.
Yeah.
And me I say, if we were to ever get too serious around here, brother, then would have immediately turned the switch.
Yeah.
And we would have been the Palestine of the day. May I tell you?
You know, it's damn. I've never heard it. I've had this convo, but I've never heard it put that way. And you're so that thing where you say, well, you'd be the Palestine of the day.
Yeah.
It's so true.
And there will be Palestine won't be the last Palestine, brother, if the world continue the way it goes, because the man, you know.
Jaja.
Damian Marley said Babylon them.
Yeah.
Position the queen. And set the pan and start transform like the Decepticon.
Cool.
We're fully in the transformation, brother. You see me?
Yeah.
And it's like, to me, why are we still like, we can't even get ourselves together? The whole world are left way out now, brother. You see me? And we can't keep up with that right now.
And sometimes, I think strength in numbers is what we need, but there's a lot of people who are, and complacency is taught, A lot of people are too complacent. Some people build to me on the outside looking in, Rastafari gives a purity and simplicity what some people love, right? But there's a militance that should come with it that them no want a part of.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they enjoy the fact that's a simplistic approach, and people not go pressure you too much if you do too much, because simplicity with upon. However, there's gonna be times when people have to rise up, bootstraps have to tighten up, and whatever the case may be. And not everybody who is down with the simplicity is down to switch.
Right.
And do that.
And there's a time and place for everything, because let me tell you, for me, one of the challenges of how I live my life is that I don't think either side see me as their own. Put it that way.
Right. So you're in the middle.
It's not that I'm in the middle, it's that the way that I think, my type of critical thinking is that there's like how I started this statement, there's a time and a place for everything. So generally what I find is that I may be a little bit too militant for the pacifists.
Right. I get you.
But it's because subconsciously I want them to realize that some militancy is needed.
Right.
But on the other side, they have some people, sort of some indiscriminate fireman.
Yeah.
And they don't temper. Yeah, they don't temper themselves.
Yeah.
And them thinks that fire can solve everything.
Right.
And that's just not the way the world works. You get me? So for me, I've gone through it, brother.
Right.
Whole heap of people have things to say. But for me, that does make me more resolute. You get me? You can't knock me off of my square.
Right.
You see me? You can't knock me off of my square.
I love that.
When I look at, even in the context of Rastafari, you never see Haile Selassie go to every single world leader meeting and I just burn fire off of everybody.
Right.
Him know say things wrong,
Yeah.
Him know things wrong, but the man I say, let's talk about this calmly.
Yeah.
Some man don't know calmness, brother.
Right.
And them run out there, they will shout Selassie name after you.
Right.
Selassie would never shout his name like that. No, brother, because
Makes sense, Jano.
the world just weird to me now, brother. You see me?
Wow.
That's why I just love my yard. The only reason I come out is because I feel like I have something to contribute to those who will resonate with what I have to come and the message I'm bringing. You know,
we need it.
Yeah,
we need it.
Yeah, man.
Now, even that outlook and the things you see, right? I take it back to where we began. You're a father.
Yeah.
And this crazy world, which every 24 hours seems to increase in how crazy it is, right? And then you look at your boys having to come up in another world, right? Is it a difficult thing for you to convey to them the reality of it? Because sometimes we have with children and we would love for them to enjoy the innocence that is this world. We don't want to take it away from them too quickly. But we also worried about them growing too old without seeing the reality. You know what I mean? Is it a contrast? Is it a difficult balance and for get to with you raising boys?
Yeah. So that's definitely a constant challenge. And I think every parent has their own approach. Every child is different. So I'm not going to say anything now where it's like, yo, take this approach.
Right.
But I can tell you with me and my youth, my approach has always been open transparency. From them young, I expose them to certain reasoning. Like, you know, one time I aggressively told my firstborn, say, yo, you're a black man in America right now. You're a black youth. And you have to process that real quick. And I think even that day he had some tears in his eyes, you know. But and obviously, you know, I learned more how to have the conversations a little bit better over time. But the point is that I really maintain open transparency with them, you know, because I want them to be fully aware. Because what I perceive is that, as you say, the youth them grow, and because of how quick them grow, when you are the one raising them, you know, it's just one big blur, you know. But just I look on some picture of my youth them and I say, yo, look how the man them did little and whatever, but you know, that was just the other day.
Time fly.
Yeah, so it's like the way how the place set up now and them on the screen them and you don't know who, sometimes you don't know who them talking to. Sometimes you know who them talking to, but you don't know the parents of who them talking to.
Right.
And so ideas are coming at them. Shows are showing whole heap of debauchery. You get me? Where you not sitting there watching it 24/7 with them, but them are gonna see some little
something
whatever.
You want them see,
you know want them see. And then it a go come in on one little dinner conversation or whatever, and you have to nip it in at the bud. So I just practice open communication with them and tell them my perspective, and I constantly tell them, say, you don't have to think like me, but me I tell you what me I see. And I'm your father, and I love you. So I'm going to make sure you know this, and you can do with this information what you want. So that's just how I deal with them. Very frank, you know?
Right.
Yeah, man. But it's a thing, brother, you know? Like you can't just leave them to... You cannot.
And sometimes you know one person in the room, but if you really pay attention, there are others in the room. You know what I mean? And you're not even aware of that. I remember one time you made a post. I'm saying, I have to talk to Dutty about that something, you know? You said, and I'm just paraphrasing a little quote out, like I said, you never claim to be a good father because the standards are so low. You know what I mean? And there are so many people, the deadbeat dads out there and whatever that, you know, it's almost like, I mean, even if I call myself a great father just because the standards them there grown. You know what I mean? And when I saw that a while ago, I said, no, I have to talk to you about that. Where were you mentally in that space when you come up with that partner? I said, Jaja.
I've always been in that space. From the first time people said to me, yo, you're such a great father. And it's just like, just because I'm present. I'm like,
so you don't have to do nothing great, just be here.
Just be there.
And you get the certificate.
And you get the diploma, you get the master's degree, brother. For fatherhood.
Right. Just by being here.
Yeah, and that make me feel awake. I mean, I say, yo, I know for sure. First of all, I never really grew up with a father presence.
Right.
I know who my father is. We have a lot of conversations from time to time, but never been a constant presence.
Right.
So I am doing this out of, I don't have a playbook or blueprint, no, role model.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that I'm not the most stellar father. You get me? I'm winging it the whole time.
Right.
So when people are say them thing, then we just feel self-conscious. Come and say, all right, definitely it's because most man hold it with the family.
So you don't feel like you're being judged by your standards. You're being judged by the lack of standards of everybody else.
The lack of standards, brother. Well said.
Right.
Yeah.
Jano. I found it profound. You know what I mean? So, but I think, honestly, just that statement right now, so I think if a lot of people looked at it that way, the standards would improve. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Try to excel and get awarded for excelling in adverse to just trying to get awarded for existing in a place where others should exist and they don't. Brother, Jaja.
But I will say this, there are a lot of great fathers in our generation. I feel like, and I've seen stats that confirm this, but all I know around me is brethren who them really have great care and love for them children and do make every effort to be present and a guide to them,
Right.
So, I mean, I think things are trending in the right direction.
Did I show the other day on radio speaking about this? It was every Father's Day I go up on my soapbox. But the thing is, I see when people have a tendency to come up with these mythical stats, the missing black fathers, right? Yeah. And I don't want to discredit the man who grew up without a father or with one parent, whether it be without a mother or whatever, because my experience of growing up with two parents, just from an economics standpoint, would not be the same had one been missing, right? Some don't want to slight the plight.
Yeah.
However, I also grew up in a neighborhood that I had to sit down and look around and say, yo, in my neighborhood I grew up in. And this is all curious. I only knew one person who didn't have their father there. You know what I mean? Whether it be a stepfather or whatever the case may be. But all I'm about them say, all right, me look at my family, my cousins and whatever. I'm like, damn, the fathers were there, right? And then I start looking at my current circle of people who I spend most times around. I don't personally know no deadbeat father.
Yeah.
I draw my stats from my immediate circle. We can find stats for anything we want anyway, right? But sometimes we go out into the world in the ether and go find these stats for somewhere over in Alaska when we need to focus on the stats right there. So, and when we look on Facebook or Instagram, the thing that warms my heart the most now is seeing young people, especially younger than me. When we grow up and them the younger than me, I know me see them with them youth.
Yeah.
And everybody that seems to have that warm. It's almost like a generational switch.
Yeah.
Like they grew up, the generation prior didn't have all the fathers there. And then the people now are trying to make sure so them almost are overlove the youth them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
Making them soft to some degree. But it kind of give my heart a little bit of warmth, say, you know something, that stigma there, it gone. You can't say that youth them not grow up tough or whatever, but you ain't going to be able to say they're all growing up without a father.
Right. Yeah, man.
I dig that. I dig that. Music. As we go back to the music. You had mentioned earlier the pandemic, and you saw and felt the pandemic effect in the room, those audiences. Yeah. And we see the diminishing returns, and we also see the diminishing of the audience sizes. Do you think things would have been different had there been no do you think it's solely based on the pandemic, or do you think that it's just a evolution that the pandemic expedited?
Yeah, I've tried to really think that through in my head sometimes, and I honestly don't know. I don't have any conclusion where that is concerned,
Right.
But it's almost like, something happened with that pandemic.
Yeah. Can't question that.
Yeah, something happened with that pandemic. Yeah. And it just, I think part of it may have been that some people just realized that them like them yard. Seriously.
Yeah.
Because maybe they were just, going along with the flow of, you socialize, you go out, whatever, long week, you go party Friday night or whatever.
Yeah.
I think people just started to realize, okay, I can be in my house. I've now had to adapt and find things to do to entertain myself. And it's okay.
Right.
And I feel like we lost some people in the
I think so
outside,
too.
You get me?
I think so too.
Yeah.
What about John really have to go?
Yeah, man. So that kind of, I saw that switch in some people due to the pandemic,
Yeah.
But apart from that, I really don't know. I feel like on the flip side, a lot of people were very enthusiastic about getting back outside.
Right.
So why them now come back outside for certain things no more? Like maybe,
right.
Them
go out for they out, but they just not there with either.
Right.
Jano. That whole pandemic situation has had so many effects, and one effect it has had, which I do not like, I'm not telling a lie, I don't know if we can delete it, streaming, in terms of live streaming. I know it serves its purpose, but brother, I'll tell you something, there's nothing I dislike than being at the show and somebody is streaming the show, right? And the reason I said it is I've only watched one show in my entire life. I've seen the Rotterdam festivals, I've seen the Reggae and the Rivers, all of them are live streamed now, right? But I've only seen one show that I felt it on the other end, right? There's one, some people might not realize it, but getting the HD audio over is one thing. Getting the sound over to where somebody can actually feel it. I mean, I talk about just bass heavy or whatever, but there's something about bringing the two together. There was a Barry Hammond's show in Jamaica, right after the pandemic or right during, that I felt it. Outside of that, I've just watched the shows. I've never really felt them. And I've always said that maybe if all of these shows weren't available for stream and people couldn't watch them on them yard, maybe they'd go. You know what I mean? I'm not selfish enough to say, boy, you know something, you pay a ticket for going on, and me never pay. Maybe I'm just not for watch it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not a fan of the whole streaming the show. How you feel about it?
You know, it never, I don't feel no way in either direction. You know, I guess I just never really got into the streaming too, personally.
Right.
So it just don't even factor in how
right.
I feel about it. You know, yeah, I don't know.
That was something that it still rubbed me wrong. Because some, I maybe it's because I'm trying to check the boxes to find out what are the reasons why, what can we do.
Yeah.
I mean, I look on the thing and I said, John, how much people decide, and then now I got a show because them can watch it at home.
Well, to me, that wouldn't be enjoyable.
Right. To sit down and watch a whole show.
Yeah, it wouldn't be enjoyable to me.
Right.
So I couldn't even try to think of why somebody would prefer that.
Right.
Down for go. And as you said, there's something, this tangible feeling that you can only get. Being there.
Yeah.
And that is the whole value to me.
Right.
So that's why the streaming thing is not even on my radar.
Right.
That's more like I don't know, a recap, or if like you're fast and you want to see what it go on or who did get there and you want to look good on it.
But during the show. I don't want to be there and watch it.
That's
some people stay up
vibe.
late and I watch the thing in real time.
Yeah.
No. It not work for me. It not work for me. How when we talk about the music right now, getting out there for the masses, there's long been a scenario where people feel like artists should bear no responsibility on the effect or affect of the music, right? I'm just an artist.
Yeah.
I'm just here to create, right? To the point where there's an interview the other day, artists I said, boy, well, a certain genre of music now, the way it's supposed to Afrobeats now, the way it's supposed to do for Africa and all them like a thing there, right?
Yeah.
And I watched it several times, like, I don't know if I agree with all that, because I feel like everything serves its purpose. Nobody goes to ever say, oh, that's soca music and I inspire. Nobody, you know what I mean?
Right.
It's just shaking it, you know what I mean? Just dip it low, right? So I'm not saying that exists, but it ain't in my catalog. I don't have none of them, right? But I just feel like different things for different, and I feel like if your music make me dance, if your music make the people dance and get away from any negative moment in time, then mission accomplished. You know, I don't think that every song, and I don't think every message is Rastafari, is Jah, is Jesus, is praises, is bonfires, whatever the case may be.
Not have a conscious.
It not have to be like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What's your take in terms of the value of responsibility artists need to take for the music? I'll go out there.
Well, I I've always more leaned, more been, I more relate to people who take on social responsibility. I think that's an important aspect.
Yes.
I definitely think that, so like when Buju said that thing on, about, Africa now.
Afrobeats now, really.
Them not up to par. Basically, that's what he might try to say.
Yeah.
Them not do nothing for the people. I would not have said it that way,
right,
but I have to give it to him. Buju started a very important conversation.
Yes.
So, again, is not my approach, but I am not Bojo.
Right,
Him is
right.
Bojo.
Right.
Is him them want interview.
Right.
So it's his time to speak.
Right. And he spoke.
And he spoke.
Right.
And he started a good conversation. And what I notice and what I love is that the Afrobeats artists, at least the couple that I've seen responding to that, them respond with utmost respect.
I did notice that.
Yeah, them
The
respond.
fire now burn.
Yeah, because I feel, and I just feel back because he's such a elder statesman of the thing.
Yeah.
Because if somebody from all my
Skilly
generation, they go try that.
A different something.
It would have been war across the Atlantic now, brother,
Yeah.
you get me?
Yeah.
And it wouldn't be good.
It would not be good for, especially for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know, but one thing too, I didn't really get a chance to go through the whole interview, but some of what I saw is he also said, he kind of qualified it a little bit better later on in the interview, where he said something to the effect of, is like, nothing is really wrong. I'm paraphrasing now, or what he meant. It's like he must say, nothing is really wrong with music just for enjoyment. But it's like he must say, every generation need a little handful of ones that are going to come and bring the consciousness and uplift the people.
Right.
And he must say, him not really see that.
Right.
So that's a point to be noted, because I do feel that way. I feel like in every generation, you know, I really love the movie The Matrix, you know, because it really bring to the fore something that I believe in strongly, which is that every generation have to have certain roles.
Right.
So you have whoever is the one, but you have the oracle, you have the architect, you have, you get me I say?
Yeah.
These are archetypes that really are needed in every generation to maintain a balance in a respect, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, the artists them, like one artist I say, yo, no, well, the spirit of the African youth them now is them no want hear nothing will stress them.
Them just want
Them
party.
want us party.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's what most people, the stance most artists go and take. It's the easy way. And them and like them saying, them need to feed them family.
Yeah.
This is what the people who spending the money want.
So I give to them.
So we give to them, make money and feed the family. And that's another important aspect. It's a
Right.
part of that economic ecosystem that need to happen. But nobody, G. Cole.
But here's the thing. I wonder if, this is what I always wonder. Because I don't hear, and I'm not saying there probably aren't some negative ones out there, but I don't hear the negative ones. I don't hear I agree with him. I hear the party and the girl.
I don't hear negativity.
Right?
I never really hear,
But the thing that I wonder
Are we
about
specializing on negativity, you know?
that was what I was about. That was what I was about to say. You see, when
No,
we
man,
do
our
negative thing,
thing that.
it's boss and we are the king of that.
Our thing that.
So I think that's where there's people, a lot of people are kind of sitting on like, well, I don't think we qualify for say that something that's chilling, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Make one of gospel artists, I'm gonna say it or something. But the thing is, I think it was important for him to say it.
Yeah.
A lot of times it's the messenger we have a gripe with more so than the message. And I think there's a lot of politics involved in that too, what people want to use. Yeah. But the thing is, I wonder about the whole Afrobeat thing. I'm saying to myself, say, Jaja, there are different genres, and there's probably another set of artists in Africa that's doing conscious music. Lucky Dube was not an Afrobeat artist.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Miriam Makeba, not an Afrobeat artist.
Yeah.
So the music is probably there, you know.
Yeah.
But just like our good and conscious music, it now rise to the top and become as popular.
Right.
So that was what was going to my mind. I said, maybe I think there's like a broad brush vibe going on.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I really appreciated the conversation being started. And I want the boomerang effect. I want everybody now in our culture will feel say he was right to speak on that, for now have a chip on their shoulder and say, Jano, me have to clean up my act before them respond and say, hey, I want to go on over there.
So, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
So sometimes that's the glory in the whole thing.
And you know, I would even bring it to another level, you know, G. Cole. I would have said that the same thing I said before about the minstrel show. Now remember, Africa is on the rise, you know. So many of the world's eyes are on Africa, including certain gatekeepers of music,
Right.
who, remember, their whole strategy around rap music was to push what they call gangster rap.
Yep.
In fact, I just watched an interview with Dr. Dre where him do with I don't know how old it is, but I just watched it. Dr. Dre was being interviewed by Kevin Hart. And and Kevin Hart say, yo, you know, when he started gangster rap and whatever, and the man stop him and the man say, we never called it gangster rap.
Wow. It was the media.
It was the media. The man said all we were doing was hardcore West Coast rap.
Right.
But we never call it gangster rap. So just imagine that.
Yeah.
To where we are now, 2024.
Yeah.
And you never know, said Dr. Dre himself, never call it gangster rap.
I didn't know.
So to me, there's always these nefarious characters and forces at play that don't want to see Africa rise the right way. Because if we did control it, we would have found the balance.
Right.
If we was the gatekeepers of the music reaching across the Atlantic and getting over here, we would have found the Lucky Dube's of now.
Right.
We would have found the Fela Kutis of now. You get me I say? We would have find a variety of great sounds and we'd be exposing to much more, but they found a way, as they always do, to take the thing. It's not that them force the people them to create music that's not edifying people, you know.
Right.
It's a natural part of us. We are vibrant people. But them just see that and say, all right, we are gonna make it so them know if you not do that, you not get the bus.
Yeah. Make it if you want to make it.
Yeah.
But that ain't gonna be commercial.
Right.
Yeah.
So that is what I think about things in general. I always look on geopolitics. I look at white supremacy in everything because it's undeniable that it's there.
Right.
It may not be always overt and in your face, but it's in every system.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It's in every system. So imagine now, the black continent is on the rise. Set by a lot of major economic projections to be the powerhouse of tomorrow. Them a try get it too. Them a try bend the tree in them favor now, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is it to me. So
Well,
it plays
talk
out in
about
everything. It plays out in everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And them can't have it too strong. Like I said, we need to chop them at the knees.
Yeah, brother.
You know?
Marcus Garvey tell me a long time, brother, nowhere in the world the man did travel and see people like black people.
Yeah.
Everywhere him go, the man never find black people anywhere near the top yet.
Yeah. And there's a reason for that.
Yeah.
There's a reason for that.
Brother.
It's intimidation, strength. You mentioned the gatekeeper. That is something that there are certain words that come up in our culture a lot, you know. Right? Right now, 90% of the lyrics in a song are gun, girl, and bad mind, right?
Yeah.
That are the lyrics right now. You cannot build around that. And you might bust. But then you have the concept now of the gatekeepers, right? Which, like everything else in the world, it's fact, and then people toss the fiction in, right? So there are factually gatekeepers who have a say, who can let you in and can keep you back, right? Yeah. And then there are those who, if I don't make it to the mountaintop, I ain't gonna blame me. So I'm gonna just say, well, it was the gatekeepers. You know what I mean? How in terms of reggae music being, because Juna just dropped the category.
Yeah.
Not everybody knows, but there's been a struggle over the past couple of years with the Grammys where they've had to finagle ways to make sure I say it's not gone, right? And there's others to come. Right? And we talk about the gatekeepers. Reggae music, I feel like a lot of these entities out there, the labels and whatever, don't find it to be lucrative enough to invest in. Is that a reality, or them no want it to be as lucrative? Because the thing about reggae music is no matter how pop polished, radio and friendly you want it to be, there is always the undercurrent that's going to come up, which is the culture and the message. You think it's an intentional thing, or do you think it's just the audience is just not consuming the music and buying it as they should? Is it a gatekeeper thing, you think?
I'm not sure. I wouldn't venture to say it with any certainty, but just thinking on your question and just where my mind is taking me now, and from experience, I feel like outside of a certain niche audience that exists in certain pockets, I think most people just simply do not relate to our culture. In the scheme of things, no matter how, even though we are well known in the world, our culture is still a very peculiar culture, You know what I mean?
Right.
So when it might be nice to like it from afar, or like a version of it on the north coast of Jamaica or something.
I'm on vacation.
But when it kind of really in your face, or it really invade your space, and whether it's on a radio or whatever, it's like I think aspects of it just don't even compute in the way that, you know?
Right.
So it's like, so it just don't resonate, and then that causes it not to be as popular in the pop culture sphere.
Right.
You know?
Right.
That's what I would think. You know?
Right.
That's what I would think.
It's something I wonder about a lot. And I
Yeah.
was having a conversation with somebody who works for a major label, right? And I was saying to them, when it comes to hip hop, pop, country, R&B, people always say, well, it's more lucrative, generates more, which it's not, it's undeniable, it is true. But the overhead is also way higher, right? So, arbitrary numbers, when you have to go spend $10 million to make the hip hop artist succeed, it may cost you $1 million for the reggae artist. However, the rate of return on the 10 million might be 2 million, 3 million. The rate of return on the 1 million for the reggae artist may be 200,000, 300,000. Same figures and just less, right?
Yeah.
So, do we need to alienate that market and say, okay, because when I make millions off of the market, then it's not a market worth investing in, when the truth is you never invest the same amount in that market for money. Right. And that's what I was trying to tell the person. He couldn't say no, but me couldn't get the answer as to why they don't think that way.
Yeah.
Which is why I wonder, is there an underlying, we kind of need to hold them people down, because, you know, we can't have the inmates taking over the asylum.
Wow, yo.
You know what I'm saying? So
What a way to put it, man.
we can't do that.
Yeah.
Because I'd love to see reggae music. There's no reason why it can't up on their mainstream radio. There's no reason why, because mainstream radio plays a lot of different genres, but we need a reggae station for play reggae music. You know what I'm saying? Because mainstream radio play a hot country record, you know?
Yeah.
And then they play the hip hop, the R&B, whatever the case may be. It's not just pop radio, R&B radio, hip hop radio, right? But we don't get reggae coming through the regular mainstream airways. Is it the content? Because that's something I wonder about all the time. But then it can't be the content, because there was the Coffees of the world, the Leaders of the world, the Protege, and they make very, in my opinion, commercial music. I'm not the person who need to be something. Me not need the underground thing, you know. Give me the radio record all day.
Yeah.
Give me the fluff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As long as you're not saying nothing negative,
Right.
I'm down for it. But even those aren't making it. Sometimes we cherry pick and say, no, I get that one cranium there, and we give you that one TJ there, and then that be it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What can we do? Should we kick down some doors and go say, yo, we need to have some words to some people? Or what you feeling?
I mean, I always love the idea of kicking down doors. You know? That has been my personality from a long time, you know.
Right.
But again, to go back to what I said earlier, not to say one man can't kick down door, but when a man kick down the door, if there's not an organization to keep the thing moving,
right,
it might as well never bother kick down.
It was a waste.
It was a waste. Nobody, you waste your foot.
You know, mess up your
You
knees for
yeah,
nothing.
man, you waste your foot, brother.
Ja,
You
ja.
see me?
Ja, ja.
It's like that is the thing. Like I feel like, you know, even as a avid an avid appreciator of revolution, and in my younger days, just that whole rebel energy. What I've grown to understand is that revolutions take work, man.
They do.
Yeah, so I think a lot of us are fascinated with the idea of make ourselves known and heard and present ourselves and get in and we're bad.
Yeah.
But then now it's almost like we never have a plan for what comes next.
Right.
It's always like we're ready to destroy, but what are we building back in its place?
Yeah.
Nobody can tell me.
Yeah.
Because we don't even have those conversations.
Wow.
We don't even have those conversations, you know?
So we're not planning for what we're going to do. We're just a plan for...
Yeah, man. So it just made me really apathetic. You know, like I say, in recent years, I just become more reclusive. And I just... It's like, for me now, it's like almost like it's a fight for another generation.
Right.
We did as, you know, me and certain people who I know, we did the best that we could. Some people still have the energy and still doing it. I don't have the energy like that anymore.
Right.
I put it into different avenues. Like I'll go and select music. I select music different. That's why you don't hear my name all over the world, because it's only certain spaces can manage how I select music and the things where me I go take up the mic and say when me I select music.
Right.
So I will work on that small scale for the time being. If that becomes popular, great.
Right.
But me nah, you know.
Right.
Yeah. Right. So, but I would love to see another generation. I've just been waiting. Where is this next generation that's going to come up and carry the fire again? And we can be there where we always say, yo, we are going to help them youth. Who, you know, we never have the opportunity. Nobody never did help we.
Right.
You know.
How optimistic are you that those people are waiting in the wings? I remember, and you know it already. Every generation thinks that the next generation going to hell in a handbasket, right? Before Protege generation come out, they thought it was over.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And a lot of times they really don't believe it, you know. But it's a way of preserving your era. Like, you know, people never want to see another Michael Jackson. No matter how good Chris Brown does.
Yeah.
No matter how LeBron does, he ain't never gonna be Michael Jordan. And I do think, especially even the audience, sometimes you hear audience talk about the greats from yesteryear. It's not the artists them are protect and them era. They just want to make sure that whatever era you deem the greatest is the era I'm from.
Yeah, true.
You know what I'm saying?
True.
So, but when I think about it, I think of, I remember somebody saying to me, boy, reggae music done. I'm going to go on radio the same day. I had no plans for the show. I'm going to start reel off Romeo and Virgo and Christopher Martin and Protege and Leela. And I'm just going and I'm just saying, how it can't done.
Yeah.
If the music are in these hands right here and this me here, it can't done.
Yeah.
Do you feel like there's a continuation? Do you see that momentum going to where you're optimistic? Say if Dutty decide tomorrow, say, yeah, you hear me? I'm chilling, man. I'm in my recliner doing whatever I do. And Protege decide, say, him do up in the hills, I do what I do, and him now come down for a hot minute. Because people say he doesn't come down on the regular. Are you confident in thinking that there's safe hands waiting to take this thing to another level?
I think so. You know, I'm very encouraged by, I don't know as much about, say, the actual musicians and artists. A man like Protege can more tell you that, because I studied that very deeply. He know all the players out there and whatever, you know. And I know a few, and I can say, yeah, some man out there do it. But like I said before, I don't feel the energy of a collective vibe that we had.
Right.
But what I do say and I love is you have some really great behind the scenes workers.
Right.
Like myself, who supporting the artists and helping to build institutions and ecosystem and structure that the artists can then benefit from. You know what I mean? So like in this moment, like I'm gonna name drop somebody who maybe him don't even want him name called, because it's such a youth where him so humble and thing, but you have a youth what me know name Habibi. Yeah. And him have a company called Wengi Coffee.
This is when Yard?
Yard. Yeah, man, I have to big him up every time. Seeing Habibi, great youth.
Man.
And then man, they just produce, you know, he's like a producer extraordinaire right now.
Wow.
You know what I mean? One of the best to do it right now.
The young youth.
Almost any video shoot where it's a consequence right now, you can probably find him name on it somewhere in the credits.
Wow.
So it's like, to me, that is like where we're having a lot of great value added in the next generation. Because their generation, they know, you know, them not stay like me, you know. And what I say is like me did it for like, it was more like I said before, I never really focused on myself in terms of even the economic benefit.
Right.
I was always willing to more volunteer, and that's good, you know. But you can't overdo that.
Yeah.
And I think I overdid it.
Right.
Them youth I know, them probably look for a man like me and our generation and I say, you know, so we're not going to make that happen to we.
Right.
We are going to make sure we bought with paper.
Right.
But that is the way to build the economics properly. It has to be beneficial in that way from the get-go.
Right.
And you feel like, no, this is your work and your career and it motivates you now to get better at that and keep doing it. Maybe if I did take that approach, we would not talk now about saying I go retire or go sit back or you know?
I feel you.
Because I never took the time to make that even economically lucrative for me.
Right.
You know?
Right.
It's just by chance I end up with some roles that benefit me in that way, but it's not like it was deliberate.
Right.
Them youth of today, them now budge without the money.
Right.
And it's some, you know, people say that in a bad way. And I mean, yes, them can relent and be more willing to do a little thing here for somebody or whatever, but I admire that still. I think that's That's the way it must go. Because you have to build.
Yeah.
How you build the nation is build the strength of individuals and their families, you know.
Can't ignore the economics.
Yeah, it's that.
Can't
Those are
ignore
the building blocks of the nation. So, yeah, man, I like that trend there. And Habibi is one who me really respect what him do.
Them have
Yeah, man.
the business on lock.
Yeah, man.
And if the thing is, again, from conversations I have, a lot of times when the passion leads the economics, we got problems. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We got to put the economics first, unfortunately, and that's what they're doing. Yeah. Passion is still there. Doesn't mean that they're less passionate.
Yeah.
Right? But for a lot of us, our passion drives us.
Yeah.
You know, we go out there and we would do it in the hopes that the chips will fall when it's supposed to go.
Yeah.
But the thing is, the chip of somebody I put the pocket the chips in.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And you them that upon that.
Yeah. So it's like that generation, you know, I admire them because they map that out very quickly earlier in them life, you know? And that's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And I feel like in our generation, like say, when me did I say reggae revival and them thing there, the whole, you know, the fight where that get on.
Right.
The fight where me get as a result and whatever.
Yup.
It made me really, again, the word is sad, you know. Because me I say, yo, why the hell are they, it's almost like there's a jealousy in the thing, you get me? Why the hell are them feel say, why them go to thing was that we are disrespect them.
Right.
Nobody never disrespect them, you know.
Jealousy is the word.
Yeah, so it's like the envy that's tinged in the whole thing. I would never, and then no, I don't want to pass that down to the next generation.
Yeah,
it's almost like a abusive. A youth was grow up under abusive parent and them say, well, I turn out fine.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna beat that one here too.
It's true.
No, you have to nip that in the bud.
It's true.
So like me, that I am so happy to see the next generation rising and doing things in a better approach and a better way and seeing more success than I saw.
Right.
Still pushing the culture forward.
Right.
That's something to be applauded.
I dig that. And I have, sitting here and talking to a lot of artists and a lot of people.
Yeah.
And there's a couple of words that we can use. Jealousy, bitter, all that stuff, right? But in all honesty, a lot of times it's your choices. People wanted different things. At that time, people just want a bus. Yeah. They want to hear them name. You know what I mean?
Right.
But you're so right. When I talk to people, every time somebody said to me, say, the youth them. My observation has always been, and when we say youths, I talk from Taurus down, right? My observation has always been, the youth them show more respect to the elders than the elders them show to the youth them. So when them say the youth them not show respect, sometimes it might be retaliation. Yeah. It might be them people respond to you in kind. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You respond to, and everybody's just sit down on the pan, all right, you diss me, so let me just go on, yeah, elder same way, so let me just take it. Nah. So, and I think I have a lot of faith in the generation to come. But the reason why I think I have a lot of faith in the generation to come is because I think this generation has done a lot more for them than the predecessors have done for us.
1 million times more, if you ask me.
Jaja.
But again, it's not even. I know start. I've been using this next word a lot too, compassion. I just have to feel. I do feel a sense of compassion for even people who even wish me ill will. Because it's just a result of the human condition of today. You get me? So imagine now, as an elder, let's even just go to the music. As an elder of the music, you go through this industry, you give some great songs to the world. The business wasn't on point, so you're not making the money that matches the popularity of your music. I would have feel bitter. It's just a human reaction. Like me, that would be a traumatic thing for me every day of my life to wake up and know, say, yo, me name so and so, my song are that, and what my bank account look like. Right. So it will spill over if I see some little success somewhere else. Maybe in my mind, I go start say, yo, I'm to them youth, man.
It's human nature.
Yeah, so I just feel compassion. You get me? It's like, all right, if I was in that position, I don't know if I'm immune to that jealousy or envy. Right. But what I do know is I'm no great success in terms of what I set out for myself to do. And I get up every day and I still think I can do better and be better.
Right.
And but I do not make that affect how I deal with other people.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean? It's just to pass on the lesson, whether it's by speaking or just by living and being an example.
Right.
And the youth them can perceive, said, here are some mistakes what Dutty Bookman did make.
Right.
I'm not gonna make that happen to me.
Right.
But from what I tell, them all show me great respect. The youth them, the same Habibi, the whole generation down, after us,
Right.
who come up and see us,
Right.
is always non-stop respect. So why would I turn around and
I show them anything else.
show them anything else but love?
Yeah.
You see me I say?
I dig that.
And that can only make the generation after them stronger, because now them have the example of being supported and loved.
Right.
So them know what it feel like, and them now go deprive the next generation of that. I don't expect them to.
Right. We hope so.
Yeah.
We hope so.
Yeah, man.
And I agree with you 100%. It's breaking the cycle and I love the compassion too, because oftentimes if you don't have the compassion there, you're going to burn them out and you're going to see that one. It's hard for people to come at you a certain way.
Brother.
I think it takes more, it takes so much resolve in a responding kind that, you have to hold on for that compassion there. I may be better at it than I am, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I've become good at it, but it's no less trying every time, you get me? It's a new experience every time when I have to take a deep breath again and calm myself down, because actually a lot of people surprised or would be surprised to know my reputation as a youth, like all high school and them thing there. My temperament never stay how it is now, My temperament,
right.
me not take kindly to certain thing, you get me?
So you could have gone another way.
No, I mean, before I knew about Dutty Bookman, the Haitian revolutionary, my nickname was Dutty for a reason,
Right.
So, and
Right.
it's not because it mean earth.
Right.
You get me?
Right.
Yeah, so to me, that's always who I am. You cannot change who you are.
Right.
You can, in a sense, but
Right.
it's more about changing how you interact with the world and what you present.
Right. Deep down your fiber is still your
But
fiber.
deep down, you are who you are.
Right.
It's your personality.
Right.
So maybe in the quiet of my home, if somebody diss me or whatever, a bare bad word me a cussing on my yard, you get me? I say, I want to that brother, yeah.
Right.
Like him not know me,
Right.
But because I believe in collective security,
Right.
international morality,
Right.
and all of these things, I try not to add negativity to the public sphere.
Right.
You see me?
Right.
I would never disrespect my elders.
Right,
That I one thing me nah do.
Right.
You see me?
Right.
And people amongst my age group who diss me, trust me, I hold it whole heap of time, brother.
Right.
And the few time when I respond, even just being diplomatic and not trying to call names and point fingers, I still get fire.
Right.
You see me?
So you're not supposed to do that.
You're not supposed to speak for yourself.
Right.
You're not supposed to talk up.
Just take it and go
Yeah,
on.
but brother, nobody don't run me off of my square, brother. Whether I'm silent or I'm talk,
Right.
nobody don't run me off of my square, brother.
I dig that.
Yeah, man.
And we need that. We need that because we've been, as a people, individually and collectively, run over a lot not because we're not stronger than the opposition, but we decide to be meek. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the concept of kindness for weakness never goes away.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But there's always a joy. When we talk music and we talk culture, I try to weave them in together, because one propels the other, right?
Yeah.
Is as we see the music and the audiences diminish a bit, right? Do you see that with overall the culture? And here, the reason I ask is this. I have people walk in a French restaurant and spend $200 and come out on, right? And I'm going to an Italian restaurant and do something similar. They're going to a Jamaican restaurant and get the baddest steamed fish they ever get in their life, but there's a cap. You know what I mean? Don't charge me more than this because it's just a steamed fish. You know what I mean? Yeah. Or whatever else is on the menu. And I attribute it to the culture. Based on where you are in the world, you will spend a bag of money, go Hawaii and Europe and whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
But when you look on the ticket and the ticket to Jamaica kind of too high up on Jaja, just Jamaica. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I've always interpreted that as a cultural, a decline in the value of the culture. And I always wonder if that affects the music too, or is it a vice versa thing? Have you ever prayed that, say, boy, maybe it's not just the music, but it's the entire culture that we have. As popular as it is, popularity and value is not the same thing. You know what I mean? You ever pre that yet to say, I wonder if the entire culture is taking a hit in terms of value?
No, I never actually thought of that way, you know. I never really sit down and think about that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. But that's a really interesting perspective, you know. It's
a value system. You know what I mean? And I always feel like, and from when I started thinking this is, I'd go into a venue with my band, have, you know, a nice draw every week when we went in there, and
a nice
still draw like the crowd.
Oh yeah.
So we sell out the venue.
Yeah.
Nice vibe, energy are going on, boom, boom, boom. But for some reason, the proprietors just never felt. It's almost like they felt that it's not right for them to pay me more than the metal band that was coming in and not even having the same pull.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And from that time, I was like, damn, have we given up the value of the whole culture? You know what I'm saying? Because when I talk to people from in my professional life, right, that are not us, I sometimes get that too. Them love what them sip on TV, and them want to hear throught and whatever the case may be, because you know what I'm saying. It's cool.
Yeah.
But they don't look at it as they do some other places in the world. And if so, is that our doing?
I think it could be part our doing, but again, brother, trust me.
The powers.
White supremacy.
It did it.
And black skin.
Yeah. And we are a black nation.
Black nation, you see me?
Yeah.
So, to me, to fix that though, is we have to take the stand, you know.
Right.
But what would happen is, I believe, is if you say, no, pay me more, I'm now come back next week. There's some other man waiting to take your spot.
And that's what happened.
That's what happened.
That's literally what happened.
See, that's so.
We say, and the funny thing is, the other bands, no disrespect, because it's all fam.
Yeah.
And I'm always thinking to myself, I have other means of income. Not every man's situation is my situation.
Yeah.
So I'm not expect if a hole in a hard end with me. But when we decide to say, yo, nah, that not gonna work, it was no biggie, because the other band was
waiting
in the wings.
Yeah, man, trust me. So that's the thing. It's like, it's almost like we have to come together and form some sort of union and say, yo, this is the base price. Nobody go below this.
Right. And hopefully.
But I mean,
Again.
That's just me talking with no union experience. I don't know how union work. You get me? But me just I say, like, something like that is the only way I think you can break that cycle, you know? Yeah.
Jaja. My brother.
Yeah.
We can do this over and over and over. Anytime you're in town again, you know, say you have a pass through, and it's always 3 books. How many books you have on? 3?
Yeah, I have 3 books out. Yeah, 3 books.
So, ladies and gentlemen, go on Amazon and get the book them, all right? I'm gonna tell you, they out there, tried and true revelations of a rebellious youth. I'm on Open the Gates, right?
Yeah, I'm on Open the Gate is the 3rd one, yeah.
That's the 3rd one, and the one in between was the Fatidic.
Fatidic, yeah.
Mad. Selected Dutty isms.
Yeah,
all on Amazon.
I kind of, well, you might find them out there, but I kind of discontinued the first 2 still.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, I'll be coming out with a new edition of Tried and True at some point. I mean, it's done. I just need to release it, but you know, I don't know. I'm just not in a rush because I want to write something new, you know. But it will come out. Yeah, you know, other things in the works, you know. Other things in the works. Yeah.
Musically, which part of people must hear, because I know you got somewhere to be. If I could drop some tune on some people.
Oh, well, again, I don't know when this will come out, but this 2 days from now, New Jersey have a thing up in this place named Boonton, New Jersey, a Caribbean fun day, I guess, or something like that, you know. But for the most part, I'm doing a lot more work in Jamaica again. So, you know, Dubwise Cafe, you'll find me there from time to time. And have some other projects that we're working out right now, you know. But, you know, we recently did a nice show up in Negril. with Jesse Royal and things. So we want to do more of those shows. It's like a reggae revival showcase because, you know, one of the things I find in a G Code is like, say, selectors where I play the music, for some reason, them skipping out that decade of music, you know, the 2010s.
Yeah.
It's like...
I've seen it.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah. And it seems deliberate.
It's weird.
It seems deliberate.
So, if me I go be the reggae revival man, me will play the music, you know, and me go out there and champion the cause. Because if the void is there, and great music was made.
A lot.
That decade.
A plethora.
Too much.
Bro.
So, anyway, them thing that me dep on right now, you see me?
Let me ask you this, as you mentioned that too.
Yeah.
We everybody aspires, every Jamaican artist aspires, and it's always been this way, all right? More go America, huge country, whatever the case may be. More go Canada, more go Europe, more do whatever, right? But I've seen now a little bit more than previous times an effort to take the music around the island. People are performing at Kingston and then at Negri, like I said, that might be all over the place and whatever the case may be. Is there energy brewing within the shores where the people who are the audience is being fed the music properly in a Jamaica, and it's not just a stage show or one sting or one this or one that?
It's not being fed properly yet. That's why I'm venturing to start to fill, as I say, it's a void. But what I'm finding, G Cole, is and other selector and DJ will be wise to heed my warning on this. The people that miss the vibe of the 2010s music.
Wow.
When I play it, it's like people face light up. Like
crazy.
Just to have a night where them can hear that alone or majority of the night. Some great Janine and some great Ibamar and some Jesse Royal and Kabaka.
Yeah.
Them glad them must say, yo, what go on with them? It's like it click in the moment. Say, wait, we haven't been hearing this. Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, so me I will give it to them. Trust me, me don't know who else I give it to them, but rest assured, Dutty Bookman will be giving it to them.
And trust me, I'm gonna follow suit.
Yeah, man.
I'm gonna follow suit.
Yeah, man.
Jajo, my brother, social media.
Well, same Dutty Bookman on IG. You know, that's pretty much the only one I use. I came off of Twitter, you know.
X.
Yeah, I come off of that. You don't know if I Y or Z. You know what I mean?
and the Facebook, get to mess with it.
Long time I come off of Facebook, but I don't even know what's going. Facebook are going? It happen?
Some people still there.
Oh yeah,
still
to
do them thing, you know what I mean?
Okay.
We big them up. Them show we love.
Okay, big up Facebook massive. Nah man, but me, in terms of what I use personally, Instagram only, at Dutty Bookman.
IG.
Yeah, man.
And them can also follow the Book Boys.
Yeah, Book Boys official. They are my sons, and we haven't been posting much, but it's me, you know, manage the page for them and thing.
Right.
And occasionally them say, post a little thing na daddy or whatever. But,
cool, man.
So, you know, you can follow
Stop
them.
fight the youths.
Yeah, them.
Stop.
No, here's the thing. I know you try to wrap up the thing, you know, but here's the thing. I don't want to overexpose them.
I agree 100%.
You get me?
I get it.
I don't want to overexpose them. So
especially at 2 days day.
Yeah, it's a balancing act.
I'm gonna look on them IG and see 100,000 up on me a star and chat to school.
Yeah.
I understand 100%.
Yeah, man.
Because I always wonder about that. It's a delicate thing to say, boy, you know, say, my kids are talented. I've got maybe the capability to help propel them and push them and whatever.
Yeah.
But damn, I need them to grow up looking normal.
Yeah, man, them for read them book, man. And that me I deal right now. Go read your book. And if you want to write a next book, me will help you there, so. But we not just post the foolishness now every day. You get
the
me?
frivolry.
Yeah. So
I love it.
yeah, man. But
I love it.
life I live, you know.
Brother, give thanks.
Yes,
Again,
yes,
we're going to do this. And again, in time pass through, make sure you say hit me up and you don't know.
Of course, man. The great G Cole, you see me? The great G Cole. Great conversation as always. Me give thanks. Say invite me for come through.
Pleasure.
Yeah, man. I made sure I make the strong effort for forward, you know.
Brother, me appreciate it. I appreciate it. I know you ain't say tomorrow you're gone.
Yeah, tomorroor me have forward out of the place, man.
Thank you, my brother.
Yeah, man.
Thank you. And we'll drop this ASAP so that the people them can know what I go on. So today, motherfucker, just save me a while because I'm not for live do it. Well, I'm not telling people them. Can't tell them. Me edit out this.
Tricks of the trade.
I got you. My brother, Give thanks.
Yes,
eh?
I.
And there you have it. Thank you so much for tuning in. It has indeed been a pleasure. Please be sure to subscribe to the podcast Homegrown with G. Cole, available now on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, and all your podcast platforms. Also, please check out the website homegrownwithgcole.com for all things homegrown. Remember, be safe, be kind, and be good to each other. My name is G. Cole, and this is Homegrown.
Nakikinig ka sa música Homegrown with G. Cole.
Estás escuchando Homegrown con G. Cole.
您现在正在收听的是 Homegrown with G. Cole.
You're listening to Homegrown with G. Cole.
Remember, all the music played here on the podcast Homegrown with G. Cole is available on iTunes, Spotify, and all your digital retailers. Please support the artists.